Hello everyone, I'm Mohit Jain from MJ's Maths and Stats, and today I'm here with sample question number 371 to 385. We'll do few questions on data sufficiency, deductive logic and eligibility test. So we have a set of instruction for question number 371 to 376. How is P related to R? This is the question and we need to find the answer to this. First statement says Q is the son of R. So R is there and Q is the son of R. Fine. Second statement says Q is the brother of P. That means we have P and Q is his brother. So individually, statement 1 is not giving us relationship between P and R because there is no P in statement 1. Statement 2 is not giving us relationship between P and R because there is no R. Now let me combine these two. If I combine these two, I'll get R, Q son, and then P is brother. Q is brother, not P. That means we know that there is relationship between R and P. That is fine. But we don't know the gender of P. We don't know the gender of R. R can be female. Then R is mother of Q. R is mother of P. Again, we don't have the gender for P, female or male. That's why a perfect relationship between R and P cannot be established. Both the statements together are not sufficient to answer the question. We shall mark E. Question number 372 from data sufficiency. Who is older, Gargi or Dipti? Dipti was born in year 1980 and is 5 years younger than Gargi's brother. That means Gargi's brother is elder than Dipti. But where is Gargi? Statement 2 says Gargi is twice as old as her brother. That means Gargi is elder than Gargi's brother. But where is Dipti in statement 2? That means statement 1 alone and statement 2 alone is not sufficient to answer this. We should have G and D both present in that given particular statement. But if I combine these two, I can see this is the combination link between these two statements. So I can write Gargi is elder than Gargi's brother, who is elder than Dipti, which gives us a solution that Gargi is elder than Dipti. That means who is older? Gargi is older. Now we can answer this question by combining the two statements. So option C fits in. What is the sum of first two even natural numbers out of a group of 5 even natural numbers? I have 5 even numbers. I need to find the sum of first two even natural number in this group. Statement 1. The second number is double the first one. Okay. So from here we get x. This is 2x. But again, we don't know anything about these three. How we can give the answer for x plus 2x. Second statement says all the first 5 numbers are consecutive even numbers. Good. Means if these 5 numbers are consecutive even numbers, I can say these numbers are a plus 2, a plus 4, and this would be a minus 2 and a minus 4. Now if I look at these two statements singularly, with statement 1 I cannot answer what is the sum of the first two numbers. With statement 2, the sum of the first two numbers would be 2a minus 6. Again, we are not in the position to give the exact answer. But if I combine these two, and if I know that the second number is double the first one, that means second number is double the first one. A minus 2 is 2a minus 8. I'll get a equals to 6. That means my numbers are 6 minus 4, that is 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 10. I can have the sum of first two numbers. The sum of first two numbers is 2 plus 4 equals to 6. So when I have taken both the statements together, then it is possible for us to find the answer to this question. Option C fits in. Question number 374. 6 persons A, B, C, D, E, F are sitting in a row facing north. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A and F are sitting at two extreme ends of the row. A, F, or it can be F, A. B is to the immediate right of A. If they are facing north, this hand should be right and left hand should be towards the left, since you are facing north. So B is to the immediate right of A. So if A is here, nobody can be sitting on the immediate right of A. So we have this fixed position now, A and F. Now B is to the immediate right of A. B is sitting at this position. D is second left of F. F first left, second left. D is to the second left of F. Now we are left with C and E. Now where is C and E? We don't know. Here we can have C and E, or here we can have C and E. Now the question is, what is the position of E with respect to A? That answer we can only give when we exactly know where E is sitting. Okay, now let us take up one statement. Statement 1 says E is to the right of A. Now A is on the extreme left. That means E should be obviously to the right of A, but it didn't give us an indication that at which position E is. I don't think the statement 1 is sufficient alone to give us the answer. Now statement 2 says E is to the left of C. That means we have only two combinations left with the C and E, that is either CE or EC. But it says that E is to the left of C. That means this combination best fits in. E is to the left of C. So we can have E here, C here, and then we can answer what is the position of E with respect to A. That means statement 2 alone is sufficient to give us the answer to this given question. Yes, data is sufficient. Statement 2 is sufficient alone. Option B fits in. How far and in which direction is point B with respect to A? We need to find the direction and the distance between A and B. We know the basic directions: north, south, east to the right, and then west. Statement 1. point G is 6 meter to the east of A. Point B is 6 meter away from F. Now, point B is 6 meter away from F. In which direction from F? We don't know. It can be anywhere. It can be in this direction, this direction, this direction. B point can be anywhere. That means statement 1 alone is not sufficient to answer this question. Let's try with statement 2. Point M is 8 meter to the west of point B. Of A, where it is, it hardly matters, because we need the distance between B and A. That can be calculated now, because it will give us a right angle triangle like this of 8, and this would be 3. We can find the distance. Distance would be root over 8 square plus 3 square, and yes, we can also have the direction. Now, what was the question? How far and in which direction is point B with respect to A? If I draw the direction symbols here, then B is to the northwest of point A, and the distance is root over 8 square plus 3 square. Statement 2 alone is sufficient enough to give us the answer. I'll mark B. How is also written in a code language? Statement 1 says, he also show data Yes, I can see that also is common and all are different, and here in the code Sx is common. We can conclude that also is written as Sx. Statement 1 alone is sufficient. Let me check whether statement 2 alone is sufficient or not. She visit I can see that she is common, visit is common, the is common, and LM is common, NC is common, TY is common. That means also stands for Sx. Also is Sx. That means I can get answer with the statement 2 alone also. That means either of the two statements alone are sufficient enough to give me the answer. Now we can see that statement 1 and statement 2 both alone are sufficient enough to answer this question. Option D fits in. Now question number 377 to 380. The best way to solve questions pertaining to deductive logic is if we can draw Venn diagrams for the statement given. All huts are mansions. That means we have huts. All huts are mansions. And all mansions are temples. That means mansions are subset of temples. The only Venn diagram which we can draw. Now, conclusion. Some temples are huts. Some temples are huts. Yes, some temples are huts. We can see that hut is subset of mansion, and mansion is subset of temple. Therefore, hut is also subset of temple, which says that some temples are huts. Some temples are mansions. The same logic goes that all mansions are temples. That means some temples are mansion. Both the conclusion follows from the given statement. Option D fits in. Some camels are ships. So we have camels and we have ships. Some camels are ships. No ship is a boat. That means we will have one more circle Venn diagram of boat, but no ship is a boat. All three are possible because all three Venn diagram says some camels are ships and no ship is a boat. No ship is a boat. So we have diagram A, B and C. Now what are the conclusions? Conclusion 1. Some ships are camels. Yes, some ships are camels. Some ships are camels. Some ships are camel. Conclusion 1 follows. Some camels are not boat. Yes, there are camels which are not boat. There are camels which are not boat. There are camels which are not boat. Conclusion 2 also follows. Both the conclusion follows. We'll mark option D. Some chalks are dusters. So we have some chalks which are dusters. All the dusters are bored. Okay. Conclusion 1. Some chalks are boards. Yes, there are some chalks which are also bored. Common area, there are some chalks which are also bored. Conclusion 1 follows. No duster is a board. No duster. Duster is proper subset of board. How we can say that no duster is a board? All dusters are board. Conclusion 2 doesn't follows. That means only conclusion 1 follows. We'll mark option A. Question number 380. Statements. Some birds are clouds. Some birds are clouds. Yes, some clouds are birds, and here also some clouds are birds. Conclusion 1 follows. Horse is not a cloud. Yes, in this first Venn diagram, horse is not a cloud, but in the second Venn diagram, horse may be the cloud. Both the Venn diagram should be giving me the same conclusion, but the conclusion 2 is available in Venn diagram number 1 but not in Venn diagram number 2. That means conclusion 2 doesn't follows. Only conclusion 1 follows. We will mark A. Now in question number 381, we can see that two statements are given and then four option set are given. We need to find from the above premises which one of the following conclusion is true. No parrot are black. So which one follows? Some crows are parrots? No, there is no relationship between crows and parrots. No crows are parrots? Yes, no crows are parrots. Some parrots are not crow, can't be drawn. No conclusion can be drawn. We can conclude that no crows are parrots. Option B fits in. So now in question number 382, we have got three statements, few conclusion to follow, and then we need to mark up out of these four options given. Let's see. Newspaper, AC, trees and books is established with this Venn diagram. We can draw like this. We can draw this Venn diagram in many different form, but let's see which conclusions followed in this. If a conclusion followed in this, then we will see that whether we require some other Venn diagrams or not. Some books are newspaper, not necessarily. All books are trees, no relation. All trees are books, not. Some books are not newspapers. There are some books which are not newspapers. Here, all books are not newspapers. If I look at all the conclusion individually, nothing follows. But there is one of the option which says either 1 or 4 follows. Is 1 and 4 complementing each other? Some books are newspapers. We can draw a diagram like this. A Venn diagram can be drawn like this, where all books are ACs. Then we can say that some books are newspapers. And when some books are newspapers, some books are not newspapers is also true. That means conclusion 1 and conclusion 4 forms a complementary pair. Some books are newspaper. If it is correct, yes, some books are not newspaper in that case. That means either of 1 or 4 follows, because conclusion 1 and 4 forms a complementary set. Option C fits in. Question number 383, and as we can see, a question from deductive logic. 4 statements, 4 conclusion and 4 options. Okay. Conclusion. Some teachers are doctors. Some teachers are doctors, not necessarily. Some businessmen are lawyers. Some businessmen are lawyers. Yes, this is a group where some businessmen are lawyers. Some businessmen are teachers, not necessarily. Some lawyers are teachers. Some lawyers are teachers, because all teachers are lawyers. Straight away we can see that conclusion 2 and 4 follows. We have an option D which says 2 and 4 follows. Option D fits in. Okay, for question number 384 and 385 belonging to eligibility test, company decided to appoint a content manager. Following are the criteria. These are known as mandatory criteria, and we can have substitute criteria. If any candidates follow all these 6 criteria, then he should be selected. If candidate is not following criteria 1 or 3, criteria 1 and 3, then he may be referred to somewhere else. So these are known as mandatory, and for 2 of the mandatories we have substitute criteria also. Now what are the mandatory criteria? A graduate with 65% marks, qualified in at least 5 written examinations of bank PO, obtained at least 60% marks in the written test, total marks are 200, obtained at least 40% marks out of 75 marks in the interview from the above post conducted by the company, obtained at least 40% marks out of 75 marks. So 40% of 75 is how much? 30 marks. So in interview minimum marks is 30. In written test minimum marks is 60% of 200, that is 120. So we have degree with 65% marks. We have written test with 120 at least. We have interview marks with 30 at least. Qualified in 5 examination. Working knowledge of computers, and completed 30 years of age as on 14th January 2012. That means minimum age should be 30 years as on 14th January 2012. However, if the candidate does not fulfill criteria 1, criteria 1 is 65% marks in graduation, then he or she should be referred to the director. And if they are not following 3, that means if the marks is less than 120 but all other criteria is followed, then they can be referred to assistant vice president. Based on the above criteria and the information given in each of the following cases, which I'll show you right now, you have to take decision. You are not required to assume anything. In case you find that the given data is insufficient to make a decision, give data inadequate as your answer. The cases are all on 14th January 2012. So here is our first candidate, Gargi, born on 12th January 1981, and our date under consideration is 14th January 2012. 19 and 12 is 31 years. Age correct. Has done her graduation with 67% marks. Marks correct. It was the 5th interview of her when she appeared before the interview board constituted for Union Bank of India. 5th interview. She have appeared in 5th bank PO interview. She has a working knowledge of computers. Done. She got 121 marks and 38 marks in the written and interview respectively. 120 plus marks. Done. 38 marks which are more than 30 marks. Done. But it was the 5th interview for her when she appeared before the interview board constituted for Union Bank of India. And what is the condition? Number 2 says she must be qualified in at least 5 written examinations of bank PO. That means Gargi has appeared in 5 interviews, but it is not given that all the interviews were for bank PO or any other competitive examination. 5th interview is for a bank, but what about the previous 4 interviews, whether they were for the bank PO examination or any other competitive examination? So data is insufficient for us to take the decision. I'll mark option E. Arhit has a working knowledge of computer. Good. Knowledge of computers. Done. He got 125 marks and 32 marks. 120 plus. Done. 30 plus. Done. 3 criteria done. When he appeared before the interview board for PO for Bank of India, it was his 6th interview for Bank PO. Wonderful. That means 5 plus or 5 interviews with Bank PO. Done. 4. He performed a good dance on 10th January 2012 on the eve of the birthday of his sister, who is 8 years younger to him. His sister is 8 years younger to him. What about his age? Arhit's age is missing. His graduation marks are missing from the given information. I'm not in a position to decide about Arhit's candidature because data is inadequate to reply. Option E fits in. Thank you everyone for participating. This was Mohit Jain from MJ's Maths and Stats, that MJ Magic Studio to us. I will be back very soon